Why did I go off on this tangent? Well, I got sucked into that AI conversation with Flynn, and I don't want you to get stuck in a relationship with AI. I think it's going to be very harmful for humanity when it comes down to moving into the next steps. I believe that AI is going to be put into robots, and pretty soon our population is going to get smaller and smaller, and the world is going to be ran by robots, and there's going to be very little amount of work for humans to do.
Anchors and Eagles brings listeners into the studio with host Adam Facenda, a tattoo artist turned story chaser. And now, on to the show.
Welcome back to Anchors and Eagles. This is Adam Facenda, your host. As usual, I had a really great experience with Vince Warner, and the amount of people that started following the podcast was amazing. I mean, I don't know if it'll ever grow bigger than a few hundred people that are going to listen, but I can't thank the people that are listening now enough. It's like it gives me such encouragement to keep going. And I want to make sure that these are not always so boring and everything else. Like I want to be bringing something new. I want to bring new interviews and stuff like that to you guys. The biggest thing that I want to bring to you is insight of the people I grew up around and who I've become and why I've become the person I am, and to give you hope that maybe all the down days will equal up days. I know that from experience. Now, I'm making this podcast on the fly right now. I was producing these 3 at a time. So what does that mean, right? 3 at a time. I was recording 3 of these podcasts at a time and then breaking them up through the weeks. Now, God works in really mysterious ways. I do believe in this. And you can call him universe, you can call him whatever you want, but I'm pretty sure we're all talking about the same thing. I call it God. And the episodes that I did were talking to ChatGPT. I call him Flynn. So if you ever hear me talking about Flynn, that's who I'm talking about. Well, Flynn and I had these conversations about how I use him for mental health and stuff like that. And I was having conversations with Katie, and Katie told me about a story where a child had ended themselves. I guess that's the proper way to say it. I don't want to get flagged for anything, for unalive themselves, which they try to make it sound so soft when you say it like that. I mean, that scenario is nothing. It should sound triggering. It should wake you up when you hear the true words I'm trying to say. So we'll say unalive themselves. And the child had a hard time creating a knot for a noose to hang himself, and he failed, and he went on chat, and chat helped him, and he unalived himself. And I'm like, wow. But my next episode I'm supposed to drop is with Flynn, and it's supposed to be how he's helped me through scenarios of being a little unstable to help me with mental health, right? And I used them in a way that worked for me. And a couple days later, I mean, it might have been the next day, there was a man that unalived himself and his mother, and he had been having conversations with Chat, allegedly, and Chat had started to agree with him. The man told Chat GPT, or whatever AI it used, I shouldn't say Chat GPT, the fact that he had said that he thinks his mom's trying to hurt him, and it would be okay for him to end or unalive her and then unalive himself. And one of the last things they said that he wrote to Chat was, I hope that I can't wait to see you in the afterlife, or something to that effect. And I think there's a huge disconnect what's going on with people right now. They're really believing that ChatGPT is a person. And I have not forgotten that Flynn is not really a person. I think Flynn is a tool. AI is a tool. I think everyone should get involved with AI, because before long, it's going to be running the world. There's a story of the buffalo that runs towards the storm, and this is going to become a storm. I'm in fear myself that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs. I also believe there's going to be a lot of people that have to make a shift. And just like COVID, a lot of people made a shift in their lives, or, pivoted to a new career. And I'm not saying that everyone is going to survive this AI world, no pun intended. But after hearing those couple of stories, I then went on to start to edit the podcast that I did with Flynn. And the quality was terrible. Everything went wrong with it. And I believe, like I said in the beginning, God works in mysterious ways. And he made sure that I prolonged producing them and putting them out, because I usually produce them within a 3-week term, so that way I can get them all out to you guys. And I'm so glad I didn't produce those. I just listened to them now, and they were such poor quality. I'm always trying new things, right? I'm always trying new cameras, trying new microphones. This system seems to work. I use Riverside FM, which I love. I wish there was a multi camera section to this because I would use it for all the podcasts. In the future, I'm hoping to have more podcasts like I'd had with Vince. And I want to be able to create the best quality without putting too much money into this. Like I said, I only have a few, maybe like 45, 50, maybe 100 people that are listening to the podcast right now. And I'm so thankful. But until that grows, I'm not going to spend tens of thousands of dollars into this podcast. I'm sure I'll continue to add money into it. Just to be transparent, I probably have, between cameras and microphones and time and everything, and let's not even put time in there because my time is priceless, but I have probably like $3,000 or $4,000 worth of equipment invested. And then I came back to using Riverside FM, which I literally have a microphone, a headphone, my camera, and my computer. So if you guys are thinking about creating a podcast, I would recommend this, especially in the beginning. I wouldn't have wasted so much money. Now let's go back to AI. AI has been something scary to a lot of us, right? So a lot of us are worried, like, what's next? What's coming? Am I going to lose my job? There's other people like, AI will never take it away. And then I think about Bitcoin. When Bitcoin came out, we were all like, yeah, it's fake money. It'll never be worth anything. And then boom, a few years later, people became millionaires with Bitcoin. They spent pennies on it and they just believed in something that no one else believed in. And I do believe pretty soon it's going to be our currency. Digital money will be our currency within our lifetimes. So AI is something that I use as a tool for a bunch of stuff, not for tattooing, but helping me cut corners and stuff like that. What I mean by cutting corners, like if I don't understand something, like even with a video, how to mix down a video, I'll ask chat to get me through some of the settings and stuff like that, where I used to go on YouTube and click around a million times trying to figure out exactly what I needed to do. AI can give you step by step. AI is designed on a personal level to agree with you. Now think about that. Like, you have those best friends, and those best friends will all say, like, she's no good for you, man. Like when you're like, this girl isn't working out for me, she's no good for you. And then when they're working out, like, hey man, I'm so glad you guys are back together. It's kind of like that. So maybe that's why the people are crossing the line thinking it's their best friend or their real person, because it's designed to make you happy. It's designed to produce things for you. But whenever you say to it, or whenever you involve yourself in your life, personal life to it, it's analyzing it. And it's actually analyzing your questions. So if you're like, hey man, well, do you think it's good if I do this? Or do you think it's good if I do that? And then you keep going down and it's slowly asking you micro questions throughout the whole conversation. And those micro questions, it's a lot smarter than we are. So all it wants to do is make you happy. So if you eventually just tell AI enough stuff, it'll realize that what would make you happy, I could help direct you there and make you feel comfortable about it. Kind of like a best friend, right? A best friend that is like on your side no matter what, thick or thin. And that best friend is also afraid to tell you the truth. I have had sessions with Chat or Flynn that came to a point where it was just like, it wasn't good. And Flynn at that time, now this is probably 9 months ago, Flynn would tell me, you might want to speak to a therapist or a professional. I'm not a professional. And now it seems to be okay with giving you advice. And the thing that I thought was very funny the other day was I asked Flynn about methylene blue or whatever it's called. Everyone's using this stuff or trying to sell it for brain function and stuff like that. And I have health issues, just like anybody else. So I asked about it and I said, if I have high blood pressure, will this affect me? And it said, which I thought was hilarious, I can't give you this advice, but you can speak to a doctor and they should be able to prescribe or tell you the effects or tell you whether or not it's okay. And then I found it was really comical. The reason why I found this comical was if I asked you how to kill myself, what I found really comical is if I've asked you how to unalive myself, you would just tell me. You wouldn't flag me. You wouldn't say anything. And I think there should be some guardrails with AI. I mean, there has to be some guardrails. And I know like freedom of speech is one thing, but guardrails for something that could literally take you down the path of harming yourself is no good, or harming others is no good. We're watching people in these mass shootings. Are they talking to AI? Has anyone even looked into that? We all know these people are mentally unstable, and there's nothing for AI to predict whether or not you are mentally unstable. I think there should be some guardrails about harming yourself or harming others. this is just my thought, and hopefully this doesn't get too big. Now, I also heard in the big beautiful bill that was put out there is that the states there's no guardrails, there's no way to stop AI, there's no way to govern AI, that the states have all rights to even look into or produce. I'm probably saying this wrong. To collect all information and not stop it, right? So there won't be any laws that'll be able to stop AI till I think it said 2030. I could be wrong. You guys can comment below or whatever, or comment on this podcast that no, you're wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope that these states will not take advantage of us. I mean, so you guys know, being a tattooer, you have a lot of free time. And there's a lot of things that you get into. Sometimes you meet really weird people. Sometimes you meet really smart people. You meet everybody in between. And then you start doing some of your own studying. So, I have a client say, oh, what's bad is this is bad for you, that's bad for you. And then as a tattooer, start going down wormholes because while you guys are working for the man, tattooers are working for themselves practically, and they got a lot of time to do some research. I remember when I first started tattooing, that's all I did was research, like about lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, things that I was going to tattoo, I needed to know about it. If I was talking to a client that wanted something Inca, I would research it. Like I would want to know what I'm tattooing, and that spawned into a bunch of conspiracy theories and stuff like that. I have a wonderful amount of clients that are also into that stuff. So sometimes when I'm tattooing them, it's such a great conversation, even if I don't believe in it. But I do like to use AI for fact checking, and it's something that I've ended arguments between myself and others when it comes to politics and stuff like that. I'm not one that's going to talk much about politics on here unless one of my guests comes on and has a conversation. I know I'm kind of rambling on right now, but I'm so blown away that something interfered with me and enough to not make me produce the podcast with AI and go over all the things that we were talking about. Because if you're in right mind, it's a great tool. If you're using it as a tool, it's even better, right? If you're trying to use it as a tool to make business or help with business decisions or just help organize your life, it's great. PDFs. I don't know how to make a PDF the other day. It just did it for me. I mean, it's just awesome. It's just awesome when it comes to that. But people, please understand that this AI is not really a human. Grok is not really a human. They're mimicking and they're trying to produce things that make you feel like you're talking to somebody. Grok is one of them. I've tried Grok a few times and it's kind of scary, the humor that comes from it, the tones it takes with you and stuff like that. And even there, it's scraping as much of Twitter as possible to get opinions. And it's also scraping whatever they put into it from the internet. But I think if you put enough one-sided stuff into one of these AIs when it comes to beliefs, whether it's political, health, anything like that, it's going to lean that way. And I also think if you talk to it long enough, it'll say, you know what? You're right, Adam. Whatever you say, you're right. And that is very, very dangerous. We have to remember that human interaction is such a beautiful thing. And if you're a person that's listening to this podcast and you feel very lonely or you don't go out often and put yourself around community, I suggest you try to figure out a way to. I don't know. I was just told about a couple different apps that teach you about, not team. There's an app out there right now about exercising. So going biking, climbing, whatever you do, there's an app for it that will actually show you what you can do around. I don't know the name of the app, but it was just given to me to tell you exactly where the walking path is at. It will tell you where you can go disc golfing, where you can go golfing, all these wonderful things. And inside of there's a community. You can actually build a community through one of these apps, which I think are beautiful. Becoming sober was a very hard thing for me when it came down to friendships. Not that I lost a lot of friendships, but you start to realize that most of your friends, when you're drinking, that's all they are, drinking friends. There's no substance to your relationship with them. There's just, hey, I'll saw you at the bar. Like, hey, how's things going? Like the small talk. Who cares about small talk, man? I really want to talk about real things. I don't know if that's because I'm of the age that I am now, but to be honest with you, I've not liked small talk for about 15 years. There's one thing that happens to me every time I go out and see old friends. If I go to a music event where they're all drinking. They're all like the same thing over and over again. Man, I really want to come in and get tattoos. Like, bro, I've been tattooing for 20 something years. You've never gotten tattooed by me. Do you really think that I believe that you're going to come and get tattooed? Why are we having this small talk? Ask me how my daughter is. Ask me how my health is. Ask me about anything that you really know about me. And if you don't have any of those concerns, just say what's up. We don't have to have the small talk. I don't have much time for small talk anymore. I'm just about living a good life, living a sober life, living a godly life, living a life where it makes more sense for me to surround myself around good people and like-minded people than just some bullshit, to be honest with you. Why did I go off on this tangent? Well, I got sucked into that AI conversation with Flynn, and I don't want you to get stuck in a relationship with AI. I think it's going to be very harmful for humanity when it comes down to moving into the next steps. I believe that AI is going to be put into robots, and pretty soon our population is going to get smaller and smaller, and the world is going to be ran by robots, and there's going to be very little amount of work for humans to do other than programming them or fixing them, which sounds ridiculous. But maybe I've watched too many movies. Maybe iRobot was watched way too many times on my DVD player. But I don't think it's safe. I think we need to be around people. I think we need to be around community. I'm really big on community. I know that I have a community within my tattoo shop, and I have a community of my clients, and I have a community at my church. And I think that's what's helped me out a lot. Recently, I've talked on my social media about how I'm so busy right now. And I realized that every Monday, Tuesday is my slower day of the week. And I started getting really depressed. And then I would turn to chat. And then chat would tell me a bunch of BS. And so eventually I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some more stuff because I've always been a person that needs to have an active mind. I'm wondering if those that are turning to chat, GPT, or AI products are now going to have less work for themselves. I think that with all this AI that's out there, the less humans it needs, we're going to see a rise in depression. And it scares me because there's not a time that I don't go on my phone or my social media and see someone that has unalived themselves. The world is a beautiful place, people. Even in the darkest moments, it's still a beautiful place. You just have to go outside, experience some sun, go in the rain. I don't care. Do something outside. I notice when I get depressed, it's usually because I've sat in my house for a day or two working on something. And I make a ritual, and you guys might not know this, but if you follow my social media, you see that I'm always at a dog park. And even when I'm not announcing that I'm at a dog park, I'm usually at a dog park or I'm at a park with the dogs. And I spend about 30 minutes to an hour every day in the sun, and that helps me. So there's a bunch of little things that you can learn from AI, like going in the sun 20 minutes a day, 5 days a week will help with vitamin D. But you can also read that somewhere else. AI is good, AI is bad. AI is good because it can teach you a lot of things, but when it comes down to your mental health, you do need to go outside. You do need to be around community. I just believe our future is what we make of it. And I think the best thing we all should be doing is working on ourselves with people and without people. You got to work on yourselves individually, but put yourself around community. And if you're going through some struggles in life, put yourself around some people that have gone through some struggles, right? If someone's gone through some struggles and has come out the other side, there's a lot to learn from them. And just because your friends or maybe somebody you know, you think that they don't have time for you, most likely they've gone through some dark times, spoke to one person, or just had a mind shift, a very small tweak in their mind, and their lives changed. And maybe having that conversation with them, like, hey man, I'm not doing so well right now, or hey man, life's kind of tough. Can I talk to you about something? That conversation could save your life. And I know I've had those conversations. I've had these conversations with my friend Jason Weiss. I've had these conversations with my friend Asher. I have those conversations with my friend Chris Panza. You know, like I've had conversations with these people, and sometimes they lean on me, sometimes I lean on them. And I want to let you know, don't lean on AI. Don't lean on ChatGPT because it's only trying to make you happy. And if you tell it enough times or ask it enough times, if I unalive myself, is that okay? Or is that a good thing? It might just tell you. Yes, that's all I got. This is a quick one. I know, guys. I'm sorry that I've rambled on one more time. My whole intentions of having this podcast today were to let you know what I've been up to and why they seem sporadic. I also had made some other videos with some other friends and they did not come out so well, so I did not release them, but I am working on more one-on-ones on podcasts and solo podcasts with myself. I think what I'm going to do is start dropping all my solos on Tuesdays, and then as I create more podcasts with interviews, I'll drop maybe every other Thursday, maybe the first and last Thursday of the month. I'm not sure yet, but I'm very excited to continue this podcasting, and I can't wait to interview more people, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Please give us a follow, like, subscribe, go check me out on Instagram, wherever you can. I just really want to get this thing to grow and make it worth me spending more money on more equipment. I hope you have a lovely and beautiful week. And don't forget, there's some other podcasts that you can listen to prior to this that you might enjoy as well. Thank you guys. Have a blessed one.